The Sony SLT-A99 is the Japanese camera maker's flagship model, aimed squarely at DSLR enthusiasts who will settle for nothing less than a full-frame sensor in a rugged body with a plethora of external and customizable controls. It arrives almost 4 years after its predecessor, the A900, the company's first full-frame DSLR. You'd certainly expect significant new features given such a long gap between products, and Sony has lost no opportunity to equip the A99 with every bit of electronic expertise they've incorporated into their NEX and SLT models in the interim. Whereas the A900 was a defiantly conventional SLR that would have been immediately familiar to Konica Minolta film camera users, the A99 is something of a technological tour de force. Start with a dual chip-off system, live view focus peaking, tiltable rear LCD, built-in GPS and 1080p 60 movie recording, plus the ability to output uncompressed video, and the contrast to the stills-only A900 couldn't be more stark aside from the A99's identical 24MP resolution. And then of course, there's the fact that with the A99 Sony has opted for an electronic versus optical viewfinder. From a features standpoint, it's clear that Sony was out to rethink its approach to the enthusiast market and attempt to lure would-be DSLR shooters with a surfeit of technology while broadening its appeal to videographers. Like its predecessor, the SLT-A99 enters a full-frame DSLR playing field still dominated by the big two. So the camera's success will depend not just on its advances over the A900, but how well it competes against the Canon EOS 5D Mark III and Nikon D800. Sony may have chosen not to challenge the 36MP Nikon D800 for pixel count, somewhat of a surprise given that the D800 houses a Sony-made sensor, but has opted instead for a unique dual-sensor AF system that promises more precise subject tracking along with a 6 fps continuous AF burst rate. Sony has gone to great lengths to stress the work that has gone into improving the camera's image quality. The latest 24MP sensor has been designed so that more of each photosite is light-sensitive. The electronics in front of this light-sensitive region have been slimmed down to increase the angle from which each site can receive